Hi everyone, it's Eddie here at Eddie Makes Art, and today I'm going to be doing some gel printing, but on some different kind of paper. I don't know if you've seen it around, but it's kind of a trendy thing in our little community here on YouTube, but it's washi paper. Yeah, that's that stuff that's made of, that's what they make washi tape out of, right? But we're going to make our own washi tape today. And they just look like plain old sheets of paper, but there's a wrong side, obviously, because it has a backing, and then this is the right side. So I went ahead and I just marked wrong side on the wrong side so that I knew as I'm gel printing that I'm printing on the right side. Because I don't know if you remember, but there was a video, I mentioned this in a video where I was using sticker label paper as a brayer off to create fun painty labels. Well, I was painting on the wrong side because I didn't check. So this time I made sure I checked. Now you can run this paper through your inkjet printer. I'm assuming most people who have printers are, they're going to have an inkjet printer. But so this is how they turn out, and I maybe adjusted the levels a little bit on the photos of these prints that I did. So, scan them on the computer. I adjusted the coloring a little bit. However, I'm not excited about how they look when they're printed. Okay. This one is probably, these two are probably the best ones. I have a couple of others that are just a little more faded. Let me see if I can find them. Here they are. So you see this, it looks just a little not right. Same with this one. This one actually, no, came out really good. I'm glad I found it. That one came out really well. So yeah, and I've used a piece of this one here on this book that I keep meaning to show you. So I made this little book out of brayer offs, and I'll have to find my measurements again to do this kind of book. But so it was a piece of watercolor that I had done some stamping and embossing on, and I said, you know what, I can make that into a book cover, because part of it was just blah. So I used the best part, made this cover using all these papers, and I've been trying to work on it, whenever I can. This is just some cutoffs. I was making ATC backs with some construction paper, or not construction paper, cardstock, and these were the cutoffs. So I said, let me make a little something in my book. What else have I put in here? Oh, this is some hand stitching I did on a strip of gel print. I glued down in there. This is 2 gel prints here, plus a leaf that I embossed on tissue paper. Let's see here. I know I did this one yet. That's sticky. So this is the background of the page. This is the actual page. I applied the tissue print here on either side, and then this is a painted up piece of a pattern making paper that I glued down there. That's it. Is there anything else? Like I said, I haven't worked too much in it, but it's something I do when I think of something, or just kind of want to do something on my own that's not part of anything, or yeah, that's it. But yeah, so then I took this piece of washi paper, or the washi paper, the sticker, and I applied it there. It sticks very well. And then over the top, there's a gold bead that I had embossed on some tissue paper, and I applied that over the top. So with this sort of fingerprint looking stencil made with white gesso, got all that, and then I put a little strip here on the spine, and then a strip here on the back. And you see this side has gel medium on it because I had to get that V down, so I just did the whole front. The back doesn't have any, it's just the actual watercolor paper that's been painted and stuff, and the piece of that washi paper. So, you know, there are creative ways to use it. So what we're gonna do today is create some pages that I can cut up into washi stickers, into probably strips, you know. And so I pulled out some stencils, but first what I want to do is do some just plain backgrounds. You know, nothing patterned, just painted backgrounds. So now this paper, yeah. All right, so remember, we gotta remember, we're not printing on this side, we're printing on this side. So when I get the paint down, I gotta keep that in mind. I just pulled out a bunch of paints over here. Let's do a greenish one. I have Hooker's Green Deep Hue Permanent. A little bit of that. And then I've got Lime Green. Let's do a little bit of, put some fern in there, why not? Because I have some cutouts, masks that I cut from Mylar of tropical foliage that I thought would be cool to then put down on the plate, put a layer of paint over it, and then put that washi background back on there, so that when you pull the stencil or the paper off the plate, you're left with the leaves outline, but you see what's the greenish background, and then the other color will be covering the rest. I hope that makes sense. I'm gonna put just a couple of dabs of white in here. I'm trying to control my paint because I've been known to put too much out at once, but let's have some fun here. Let's try and not over mix. That's good. So this is the right size. So we're gonna put this down gently. Make sure we get all the edges. Big tissue here. Where's my Baron? There we go. This is a Baron. It's made of wood, and it is hand turned by a wonderful artist by the name of Anthony Cody. The link to his shop is in the description box to the video, and he makes these in his home. He does wonderful Barons. He does different sizes for different hands, and this is a lapis azul with a piece of I always forget. I'll think of it later and I'll just shout it out. How about that? Yeah, so this is a hard maple. The bottom is nice and smooth, so it's perfect for going over your prints to make sure everything is nice and married. He also does other products. He does bowls and the urns. He does all sorts of stuff. So, you know, check him out. Like I said, the link to his shop, which is on Etsy, is down in the description box. Just make sure everything is covered. If I need to just leave this a little longer, I might. I think I'm gonna do that. Let me let this dry for a few minutes and then I'll come back and finish with that one. All right, that's been down there a few minutes, but I'm just gonna pull it. I've never worked with this paper on the gel plate, so I don't know how it would react if I left it on there to dry. I'm sure it would be fine. But for now, let's just go with some quick pulls. But that's a lovely background there. And here I got some extra paper to pick this up with, hopefully. Any more of that before I move on, because I think I'm just gonna wipe down the back. So I don't plan on doing another one with green. So we got a lot of this up. Remember, these cleanup sheets, they can turn into really wonderful projects for you. Maybe not now, but down in the future. You know what I like to do is cover them with a layer of clear textured gesso so that I can go over them with colored pencil and just create all sorts of cool stuff on there. I'm just going to take a baby wipe to this. Now I have these stencils from Carrie the Crafter. These are strip stencils of his roses. They're wonderful. They're well loved. Well loved. So what do we do for a background for roses? What if I want to do red roses? I'm going to do a gold background. What do we think? Let's do it. Let's just do it. Now I'm gonna add a little more than normal because this particular one is a semi-opaque. So there might be some streaking and see-through. So I just wanna make sure I get a nice smooth background. This should be enough. Is that enough? Give it a little bit more here. Just to be sure, See, I'm doing it wrong. Wrong side. There we go. You got to tell me these things. Where's my big tissue? See if I can get any more coverage on that. Oh yeah, we got a little bit more. Oh, that's good. Okay. Oh, I just smooched it. All right, I gotta put it down because I'm gonna keep touching it and it's gonna ruin. All right, put it down, Eddie, and let it dry. So, get some off there. Let me get some paint on here. All right, so what did I pull out? What else do I have here? Do a purple. Use this deep violet, some white. Deep violet. And then we have a little bit of white here and there. Just little baby dots. And what else do I have there? No, I don't want that. No, I'm gonna keep it just these two colors for now. Beautiful. Okay, one side up. Okay. All right, let's take a gander here. Oh, that's nice. I got a little bit of gold, but not that much, but I am happy with that. A lot of patchiness. See if we can do that. Flip it around and get some more on here. Took some off too. I'm gonna put another layer of the purple on here. I just feel like it's not, where's the purple? It can be a more solid background. So this time I'm just gonna do the straight purple. Okay, a little better. Could be the surface of the paper that it's doing that, because it does have, it's not like completely smooth, the washi paper. So that could be the reason that it's doing that. But okay, I'm much happier with this coverage here. Find a spot. I'm gonna clean this up and I'll be right back. All right, so I picked that purple paint up with a blue, and look at that print. Love that. Speaking of blue, let's do this light blue background. We're gonna do some permanent blue here. And I'm gonna keep it one color. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep it the one color. Some of that blue that I used was coming off, but that's okay. I'm gonna need another tissue here. This one is getting too covered in paint to really want to pick up any more. Splotchy, but we're gonna do it again. Add a little more blue. What if we did a layer of this blue? This is aqua green, actually. Let's try that. Summer vibes is what I'm feeling. I really need to get back to the beach living. Oh, it was awesome living near the beach. Down, down, down we go. There we go. Oops, stop. Everybody falling. Woohoo! All right. I like that. Get a little more top area there. Nice. this one back, see what kind of stuff we can get. So these are the kind of prints, these brayer offs here, are the ones that I used in that book I showed you at the beginning of the video. Because as a whole, there may not be anything special, but when it's folded down and then you know, add stuff to it, it becomes something. Baby wipe here. Oh look, that's looking cool. That's the other thing, if you use baby wipes, you can save them. If they're just painty, try them out and save them. They make great additions to your mixed media projects. So I'm going to do this unbleached titanium. On here. And let me get this paper here. I just want to make sure this is nicely cleaned up. Let me just use the smaller brayer that's dried. I just don't want to contaminate the bleached, unbleached titanium. This brayer needs a good cleaning. I just cleaned it too, but you know, I've been using it a lot. As an experiment, I'm gonna let this one dry completely on the plate, and then I'll be back to pull it. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and work on this particular one. Oh, don't go in there yet. And I've just been playing with mixing these colors here. So I wanna lay down first the masks. So let's just start with the large one. This way, and then maybe we got a little one here, and then maybe one here. Okay, now that they're down, I think we're gonna mix this color. So I have some titanium white here and this sap green. And I want mostly sap green, and I'm just gonna add a little bit of white here and there. Are we gonna need more paint? Yeah. Okay. More paint there. And you know what? I'm gonna add just a touch of yellow. This is an yellow oxide. Let's see how that works into this here. A little bit more yellow. Okay. Hopefully this is enough. All right, so then what we have to do is pick up the masks off the plate. And then put down our print. So, where's my Baron? Oh, brayer. Brayer. Okay, so put you there for a second. Now I'm gonna do the arduous job of taking these off. Alright, so let's lay our print down. And hopefully it's not too dry. All right, give that a few moments. Let's leave it down a while longer while we think about the next one. All right, now I do want to use polka dots, and I thought for this purple one, the polka dots would be great. This one is Dottie Miss Dottie by my friend Rhonda Dona at PM Artist Studio. So, what kind of dots do we want to add here? I honestly want to go with a metallic and maybe do a couple of layers where each layer the stencil is moved, so it's in a different setup. I think that's a good idea. 4, 5. Okay, I should keep track of all my prints here that we need to cover. Well, we'll get a lot up. Hey, that's pretty cool. All right, that has to dry. And I've got this green paint left on here. Let me do this. Put it on there. Let's grab some paper. Clean it up. Look, we even got some of the leaf pattern on there from the brayer. Easy peasy. We'll do copper. That should be enough to get in here. Over the border because I just want the dots. Go. All right. Someone's in the summer mood out there. Smashing. I don't know if I can get any more dots in this bottom row here. Not row, but little section. I got something there. It's not too bad. Okay. Get the rest of it with this. Look at some of it. Look at that. Very cool. This is the Pebeo Gold 352, which is, they do some fantastic metallics. You've seen me use them before, so. Let's get some copper on here. Try to get it off, as much off the stencil as we can. Nice. Adds a little something, something. Stencils like these that have a lot of openings or orifices, you want to make sure you get down enough paint to get in all those areas. Otherwise, you know, if you're pushing, you know, a little bit of paint all around, it's going to dry up on you. So just keep that in mind. Some gold right in there, right in there. Oh, I forgot to clean here. That should be good to go, I think. Pretty. Let's get a little bit down here on the end. Not much left. Not much down there. This one dries fast. I love that. I think that is so much fun. And you see how, you know, switching up the way you put the paper down or the way you move your stencil, you get to overlap all the different sizes. So that is a wiener. We have our, oh, that's still wet. That's the green palm print one. Let's try this one. This is a PM Artist Studio design, an in-house design. It's called Quilted Crop Circles. And they come in various styles. So you've got your, you know, stencils 5x7, 8x10, 9x12. They come in a, I believe in masks, so the individual circles. And now they come in a stamp, a foam stamp. So that is a very, very awesome. All right, what are we doing here? We're gonna do brown. I'm gonna do brown. There's gold on the plate, don't mind that. Maybe I'll add a little bit of copper or just, let's just do this in brown and see what we get. So remember, a lot of little orifices. Make sure you got enough paint. Smaller one here. Sometimes with these stencils, a lot of openings, your smaller brayer tends to work better. Love it. All right, let's lay this down. It's not going to obviously take up the entire sheet, so I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to try and center it as best I can. To keep the main design within the sheet. Give that a second to dry. Oops. All right, you can go there while I take the stencil. Clean it off on here. awesome print here. Let's see if we can get some brown on this edge. Oh, that's okay. That stencil over yonder. I found my packaging. This is packaging I got a while ago at the Dollar Tree, almost a year ago. And I use it, you know, like this, just an underlay paper to pick up any of the mess. And there's some cool looking ones, and there was, you know, space left on a bunch of them. So let me lay these down and get to cracking. Again, these are from Carrie. They're rose strips. It's 5 large. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's get to palette. Now for colors, I thought let's go ahead and do some red. I got this deep red hue, cadmium red deep hue. You know, I think it's best if I put that there. Put my paint there. Now, which one do we want to do first? Let's do these here. Okay, and just a little makeup sponge. These I clean after I'm done with them. I let them soak in a little water with a little dish detergent in it, and it removes most of the paint. And then you just gotta rinse them off really well in your, wherever you rinse off your paint. Now, I always have to remember not to pick up too much paint on the sponge, because then it gets all goopy. I should have done is gotten, here's my darker red. Here we are. This is crimson, alizarin crimson. Let's put a little bit here. And try and get a little dark area in the center. Make it a little bit darker. No, it's not moving. There we go. Let's see if I can do that. It's hard to tell with the reds. Maybe I'll add a little bit of mauve to it. Mix that up a little bit. Mix. I really need to get some new spatulas. I've broken my other ones, and all I have left is this one. Silly Billy. A little bit of this into the center. See, that darkens it up. I think Terry, God bless him, Carrie taught us that. And then a darker mix. Oh, you know what he did? He taught us to do this, but using inks. That's what it was with the ink. See, a little too much paint on that one. The edge kind of dribbled out, but that's okay. We just add, go ahead. Get that. Yeah, of course, put the finger in it, Eddie. guys down here. Messed that up just a little bit, but I think it's okay. Lovely. So I'm gonna pull this aside, let it dry, and then come back in and add leaves. This one here, and I need to get that other gel plate and figure out what we want to do. So for this one, let's use my, oh geez, that's stuck there. This is Vintage Floor Tile Style 1 by yours truly. And I think that that'll be fun. Oh, that's gorgeous. That is beautiful. And some of, you see the cool gold bits that came up from the previous one. That's a plus. Okay. So there's still paint on there. Let me get some paper and we're gonna pick that up. Let's pick it up. This is still a little, yeah, that's wet, so I can probably get all that up. So for an ombre, you know what I'm gonna do on here? I'm gonna use my Pabeo Metallics, and we're gonna create an ombre with that. Look how cool that is. Very nice. All right, I hate to get rid of that, really. I do. Now, all right, I'm gonna pause you. I'm gonna come back. I need to get my big plate out. All right, pulled out one of my big plates here. This one wasn't as dirty. There's like a little specks of paint I cleaned up off of there. All right, so let's get our stencil down. And, I think for the ombre, I'm gonna use the blue-green iridescent, blue-black iridescent, and where's me gold? And the gold, what do we think? Do it this way. You know, like, yes, I like this. Okay. So we're gonna do some gold. And we'll do some blue-green. we'll do the blue black up here. All right, so let's move these bottles out the way. Beautiful. All right, it's a lot of paint, but like I said, there's a lot of openings. But what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna come through and try and get some of this paint off the edges. Beautiful. Here, we can go here. It's like limited surface space. So. All right, so I wanna make sure I get enough of each color in here. A little crooked, but can't worry about that now, or that just could be me. All right, let's leave that there for just a moment, and I'm gonna do something special with this brayer, and I'm gonna give it its own fresh sheet, because I think this is gonna be fantastic. It's so pretty. Wonderful. Ooh, I'm gonna love that when it's dry. All right, so let's get rid of the rest of what's on here. Let's see what's up over here. Nice. Try and get some of this edge filled in. Love that. It's gonna be great washi tape. So our other one is leaves. That needs paper. Okay, that can dry on there. So what did we do today? So we did that one, and then we have our purple background with the metallic dots, which is great. And then we did our the ombre on the neutral background. This is still a little bit wet, so you gotta be careful. That's beautiful. Oh, and in these two, we have our tropical leaf themed washi paper. Now on this one, I may come back, because I have the stencil of these bits, I can come back with the stencil later and fill in some other leaves and maybe do another layer. So there's possibilities there. And this one I thought turned out so cool. I don't know what I'm gonna do on the edges, but I'm gonna figure something out. I'm just not sure what. And definitely do up the edge is really cool. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you give it a try. These are fun. At the end of the video, I'll show you, some of them cut up, and I'll show you the full version of each one before I cut them up. So thank you so much for joining me today. This was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it so much. And again, it's just washi paper that I'm making into washi tape strips. So thank you so much, guys, for joining me. I had a great time with you today. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video.